Today we take a look at the Picton to Mittagong loop line, which was originally the main southern railway. In my video on Picton's railway history, I covered the Red Bank Range Tunnel and the alignment the line once took through Picton. After Picton, the railway finds its way to Thirlmere. When the Picton to Mittagong loop line was opened, it was thought that this little hamlet we know as Thirlmere today was not important enough to have its own station. It was 19 years later, in 1885, that the Red Bank Station was built on this site. A year later, it was named Thirlmere. Thirlmere is the home of the New South Wales Rail Transport Museum, which the first iteration on this site was opened in 1976. The next stop on the line is Kurrajong. Kurrajong was one of the few stations that were opened at the time of the line's opening. However, in 1867, it was opened as Picton Lagoon Tank. Renamed in 1878 to Lagoons, then Picton Lakes in 1879, and finally in 1929 it was named Kurrajong. The station was opened due to the site's proximity to the Picton Lakes, which is now known as Thirlmere Lakes. Cool. Water was pumped up from the lakes to the railway to provide the steam locomotives with the required watering after hauling up the steep gradient from Picton. Kurrajong is believed to be an Aboriginal term which means the place of the white ants or the home of the medicine man. The railway then continues pretty much on a straight line to Buxton. The current platform was constructed for tourist services by the New South Wales Transport Museum in the 1990s. The New South Wales Transport Museum still does run heritage trains between Thirlmere and Buxton on weekends. I'll cover this in the next video. Buxton Station was originally opened in 1893 after a village had grown around the railway line. Buxton is named after a village in Derbyshire in England. Both Buxton and the next village, Balmoral, were both hit by the 2019-2020 bushfire season, which saw two firefighters losing their lives. A local park has a memorial to those firefighters. We now go out of the Wallumbilla Shire and into the Wingecarribee Shire, where we arrive at Balmoral. Big Hill Lower Siding was opened in 1878 and renamed as Bargo in 1881, and then Balmoral in 1888. There was a station master's residence that was located nearby Balmoral Station that still stands today. However, this is now a private residence. The railway tracks are barely noticeable in this stretch. On the road between Balmoral and Hilltop, we have this sculpture which stands close to the Big Hill cutting. The sculpture was created by a German named Joe Anfield, who retired to the Balmoral village. He names the sculpture Human Endeavour to pay respects to the railway workers of the past who worked on the Big Hill cutting. The Big Hill cutting was dug using hand drills and explosives. 2 workers lost their lives working on this cutting. Off to Hilltop now. Hilltop was opened in 1878 as Big Hill Upper Siding and changed its names to Colo in 1881 and finally Hilltop in 1883. Hilltop Station has a few seats and tables so that you can enjoy the surroundings of the old Hilltop Station. Now we move to Colo Vale Station. It is thought that the word Colo is an Aboriginal word meaning hill or volcanic rock. Colo Vale Station was opened in 1883 as Coleman's Siding. The station is in good shape. This is due to the restoration by the Colo Vale Community Association. We are almost at Mittagong, but somewhere along this stretch of railway once stood Braemar railway station. There is no sight of this station. This section of the railway line is apparently still used as a goods access point to the main line. Braemar station was opened in 1867 as Rush's platform and renamed in 1892 when Braemar officially became the name of the area. A little bit about the whole line. The Loop line was opened as the main South Line in 1867. However, it later became clear that more capacity would be required on the main railway line, and the passing loops and the steep grades were not going to cut it. Talking about cuttings, the Big Hill cutting was only wide enough for only one line, and the Red Bank Range tunnel in Picton was also only wide enough for one track. So in 1919, the alignment that is used today through Thirlmere, Bargo and Yarrambull was opened as a double track line. Regular passenger services were still timetabled until the withdrawal of passenger services in 1978, and was replaced by a bus that still runs today. With only steam trains being semi-regularly being used on the tracks between Picton and Buxton, the line fell into disrepair. In 1987, floods washed away a railway bridge between Colo Vale and Braemar, effectively splitting the line in two. However, the future of the line looks bright. In 2019, the New South Wales government promised to fund the reopening of the Loop line, including new platforms at Hilltop and Balmoral. I think Hilltop Station just needs some TLC. Well, that's the end of another video. Please like and subscribe to the Travelling Trents YouTube channel and hit the bell so you will not miss any of my videos. Bye-bye.